Bonjour Matrix and welcome to the DBL draft analysis. Now we first started this with the DML, which was the Daybreak Multi-League, but that ended up being scrapped so bad because so many people dropped out, so many people had to be replaced, and eventually it just became too much of a clusterfuck that I decided to reboot it into a new season of the Daybreak Battle League. Yeah, I'm going to be stuttering kinda. This is just going to be a one-off thing to announce my team, the Montreal Giga Impact. If you're wondering where I got the name Montreal Giga Impact, it's my favorite soccer team from the MLS in America. Well, not America, it's a Canadian team, obviously, but it's just my team. And I thought that the only other team I like of all sports is Chelsea Football Club and the Montreal Canadiens. And I couldn't really come up with a name for either of them, so I went with Montreal Impact, or Impact the Montreal, and came up with Giga Impact the Montreal. As you can see on screen here, I've got my hat on, so while recording this video. So yeah, I'm going to be just kind of discussing my draft picks. This was more of a shit post instead of a serious kind of league. So I mean, my picks are all just good picks in relation to what everyone else picked. Compared to people like Brandon, whose team is the New Jersey Drowsies, who drafted things like Breaks and Magnemite and fucking, it was something else, I can't remember. Cutifly, that was it, Cutifly. And Drowsy, you got Drowsy. So he's got a lot of shit posts on his team, but knowing him, he could probably make it work. So let's go ahead and move on forward. My first round draft pick was Mega Metagross, to the fucking fury of some of the other people there. I sniped a lot of people's megas. I believe the only people who I didn't snipe when it came to their megas were Tom, the Kentucky Cricketoons, and Florian, the Go-Ahead Arcanines, who drafted Mega Charizard and Mega Beedrill. He drafted Mega Y and Beedrill, obviously. So I took Mega Metagross because I believe that's the most powerful Mega that isn't in Uber, because Ubers are banned from this league. But then, I mean, not all Ubers are banned, because there's one Uber that isn't banned, and there's one suspect testing Uber that isn't banned. That's Pheromosa and my Mega Metagross. The reason they're not banned is because the draft started before the suspect testing started, and they were already drafted before they were banned to Ubers. So we're just going to keep it that way. We're just going to keep it the way we have it. That way we don't have to go back and change anything, and I don't have to change my Mega. I don't want anything like Mega Aggron or Mega Pidgeot or anything like that. That would actually ruin half my team, even though a flying type would be nice. That No Guard Hurricane would do a lot to a lot of this, actually, but I don't mind. I don't care. We're just gonna Mega Metagross, that Steel Psychic type. I have a lot of Steel types on my team. I have 3. I'm pretty well balanced when it comes to type range and stuff like that. So Mega Metagross was my first pick. I'm just gonna run like just your standard Home Claws, Earthquake, Meteor Mash, and Zen Headbutt set. Then we got my next pick is my Z Captain, which means if you don't know what that means every Pokemon, I can't fucking speak. Every team gets one Z move user, and they have to stick with that Pokemon. They don't have to use a Z move, but if they do, it has to be on that Pokemon. You cannot switch it. My Z move captain is Porygon Z, which is my second pick here. I think that's kind of obvious with everything I have on screen. He's the best one because Omni Boost moves are legal. So if I run that Z conversion, Thunderbolt, or hell, even just adaptability Breakneck Blitz, I'm gonna be fucking wrecking house. I'm pretty sure that Breakneck Blitz OHKOs everything in this draft league, except for maybe Eviolite Chansey, because that's what Florian got. Maybe not Latias or like some kind of steel or rock type that resists normal. So my next pick was Rotom Wash. I just thought that getting those Will-O-Wisps and stuff like that would be good. And plus, I thought I need a water type. Then I realized the only water type move that Rotom Wash gets is Hydro Pump, and that's low accuracy. So I didn't want to take that chance. So at the end, I ended up getting another water type. You see it on the screen there, but I'll start talking about Azumarill later. So yeah, Rotom Wash, yeah, he's got good coverage. I can Volt Switch out. I could trick Choice Scarfs onto things that would not need them as much. Like especially since if I run a slower set like Whimsicott, like I know it's a prankster mon and stuff like that, but I typically run Infiltrator because I see a lot of substitutes always come up. But I might be running prankster, you never know. It all depends on the team I'm going to be fighting. So next pick was Latios, which I was going to get Latios the next round. Then I thought, you know what, nah, I'm not going to do that. And then Latios ended up being taken when I actually wanted it by Tom because he's a little shit. So when did he take Latios? He took Latios round 8, and I took Latios round 4. So Latios, he's just a powerful dragon type. I can run choice specs on it and get those dragon pulses out. Pretty much OHKOs any dragon type with that choice spec, like the Zygarde 50 I believe will get OHKO, Zygarde 10, Salamence, anything else that's weak to dragon, other dragon types that are weak to that. Obviously I'm pretty sure the only thing I can't do a lot of damage to are fairy types since they're immune. But yeah, so my next pick was Crobat, which is most likely going to be most of the time will be my lead because U-turn Crobat, he'll basically just, it's kind of a scouting out to see if something is choice specs or not, or choice scarf. I'm not going to scarf him, I'm just going to run max speed on him on most of the time. You never, like I said, you never know. And he'll just run stuff like Toxic, Cross Poison, X-Scissor, and mainly maybe Acrobatics. I'll run Citrus Berry Acrobatics on him. That's usually a good set for Crobat. All right, so my round 6 pick was Whimsicott because I needed a grass type, and not a lot of my Pokemon get grass type moves. Plus, Whimsicott is a really good wall. He can stall, stuff like that. Try to stall out some Toxics, and then with that Crobat dishes out. Getting up those subs, setting up light screens, leech seeds, and whatnot. I could not baton pass, but just switch out for that leech seed recovery. All right, and the next mon I got was another Stallmon, Spiritomb. Dark Ghost, one of the most powerful type combinations in the game, other than Bug and Steel, where it's only got that one weakness to Fairy. So I could run that one berry that boosts something if it's hit by a super effective fairy move or something like that, and just run like light screen, reflect, stuff like that. Get that Will-O-Wisp to burn some physical attackers like that, like the Nidoking on Brandon's team, or the Terrakion that's on Tom's team, possibly the Aggron on Neural's team. I'm saying a lot because it's hard for me to actually script these kind of things, so I'm not scripting it. I'm just speaking out loud. My next Pokemon is my Incineroar. I thought it was a good choice to get Incineroar because it's immune to Prankster, and he's a really good offensive Pokemon. I was thinking about putting my Z-Crystal on him and just running Malicious Moonsault just to be a cunt, but I figured, I'm not going to be that guy. Incineroar, not very fast, but still very powerful. I can just run maybe a Choice Scarf or something on him, Choice Band even, and we'll get some decent damage off. And my next round draft pick was Cobalion because I got sniped, actually. I wanted Terrakion, but that was taken by Tom in the same round. I thought getting a rock type that was fat and powerful but slow would be very good if I ran a Trick Room team, but Tom took it. So I took Cobalion because all the other horses were taken, and I felt like he needed some love. Plus I needed a fighting type, and Lucario was already drafted. So I just went with my boy there, my boy Cobalion. My next pick was Escavalier because Scizor was taken, Durant isn't as powerful, and I didn't want Fortress. Oh no, Fortress was taken, that's right. So I went and got Escavalier because he's a really powerful Pokemon. Getting up a Swords Dance, Poison Jabs, and X-Scissors do a lot of damage if I can get that Swords Dance off. Plus I can run him bulky, and he can take a decent amount of hits, and that's just it for Escavalier. And my last draft pick in round 11 was Azumarill, which, as you know, can be ran many different ways. Like Choice Band, Huge Power, Aqua Jet is very, very powerful. I could also run Sap Sipper to get rid of those grass types, like the Sceptile on Splashy's team, or the Serena on Red's team, possibly even the Tangrowth on Joey's team. So I know you can't really see the draft picks. I will leave a link to the spreadsheet down in the description below if you want to see all the draft picks that have been made throughout the rounds. I don't have a legend on it, but basically if you see a Z crystal next to a Pokemon, that means that is their Z captain. Some people haven't chosen their Z captains yet as of the recording of this video, but it's just the way the cookie crumbles, I guess. So yeah. Now, if leave a like if you support Montreal Giga Impact in the DBL. I'll be trying to get those battles up and team builder videos up every Sunday and Saturday and Sunday, or Sunday and Monday. I forget what I put on my schedule, but I'll be trying to get those videos up as much as I can. I'll leave if you support the Montreal Giga Impact, leave a like down below, subscribe, share this video with your friends. Thanks you guys for watching, and I'll be sure to upload all those videos. Thanks.